What a week to start week 16. Third plays fifth. The Brisbane Bullets travel to the Suns' home court to try and continue their flawless record. The Suns having never beaten Brisbane here on their home court in the regular season of the Mitsubishi Challenge. Can they change that tonight? With me is Trevor Roberts. Well, that is the big question. There's been a few concerns, particularly over Tony D'Ambrosis this week. He is going to play. I think it's a bit of a gamble, but he seems to think he's right.
Well, he's on the bench. I believe he's come from the physio just prior to the game and believes he's okay, but looking him in the warm-up, he's still hobbling around. So I think he may sit on the bench. I don't think they'll risk him. But the Suns have broken all sorts of records this year. They beat the Wildcats here a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's quite possible for them to do it again tonight. I believe they will here in this building with their home support. But this is going to be a classic battle of one team who loves to run in the Suns and the Brisbane Bullets, who are very deliberate, who look after the ball really well. They have only 13 turnovers a game, the best record in the league, and they do know how to score. So we're looking for a very close game. I'm going for the Suns on home court alone.
Well, that's a first. There we go. Trevor Roberts going for the Suns. We also have the worst shooting percentage team against the best. The Suns with 50 compared to the Brisbane's 45. Let's have a look at the starting five. Rucker and Curl running the backcourt. Jason Cameron. Shane Froling steps into the starting lineup for an injured Tony D'Ambrosis. For the Bullets, Steve Woodbury, Leroy Loggins playing game 450 tonight and also needs 6 points to make 11,000 in the Mitsubishi Challenge. And what a record that is, Trevor.
Well, mate, there's not too many people in front of him. Like, there's a club of only 5 people have ever reached more than 400 games, and only Andrew Gay's ahead of him in the scoring. So he's got an impressive record. Have a look at the benches there now. Grant Krueger is still coming off the bench, a decision they've toyed with all week. They like Krueger off the bench rather than starting, so that's why Froling's in the starting lineup. On the Brisbane bench there, have a look out for Toby Zaremba and Ben Thompson, two very talented young players who've both been to the Institute. I've been watching them over the last couple of years at state championship level. They can play.
And the action about to get underway here at the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. The Suns in a white strip, a brand new strip which has just come off the plane, and they get first use. The Bullets in the gold and blue. Froling very much looking forward to this battle, playing against the team he did play for. And the player always relishes going up against their old club, Trevor.
Oh, they certainly do. And Shane's been pretty much a frustrated player this year. Hasn't played a lot of time. And tonight we'd be really looking forward to an opportunity to play some valuable minutes with the likelihood that D'Ambrosis won't play at all probably in the game. Simon
Curl misses on his first shot. Steve Woodbury, as we said in the preview, the Bullets very deliberate, very methodical, and will continue that trend tonight. This is McLean. Out to Woodbury. Brings it in closer. Plenty of ball movement again from the Bullets. Smith unleashes one. And Shane Froling, the big defensive board to send the Suns off. Cameron flicks it back to Curl, and they settle it down through Rucker. He decides to take on his opposition. Throws up a prayer, but does get the foul. But he won't go to the charity stripe. Or will he?
A penetration move there, and Woodbury never really set. Just trying to buy the foul there off Rucker. But just looking at some of the matchups, Leroy Loggins is matched up on Derek Rucker. It's an interesting matchup. I would have thought that perhaps it might have been Roger Smith. Although they've switched back now, it might have been just that one set.
Rucker gets it back. Unleashes one. It's a short, but Froling does well to tap it back out and give the Suns possession again. Froling playing like a man possessed, and he gets the first 2 points of the game for the Suns.
Well, I'll say it right now. Watch out for Froling tonight. I think he's in for a big game.
The Bullets. Can they respond? Dalton. He hasn't had a bad percentage from beyond the three-point arc, Mark Dalton. Have to watch him very carefully. Woodbury. Shot clock is down to 9 seconds. Time running out. Woodbury gets it to McLean. He has to get something away, and Rucker pulls down the board. They're off to the races. The skipper. A big game in the All-Star weekend, and looking to continue that.
As Roger Smith's gone for an early night. Looking for a drink. But that's just watching there too, straight out of the transition. As soon as the Suns grabbed that rebound, Roger Smith was hunting Rucker down. He was there on the spot immediately, and I'm sure that David Ingham would have made it absolutely clear to Smith that he's got to get to Rucker and not let him run.
Well, there's Rucker. He gets another one away with relative ease, but Roger Smith wasn't too far away. And Dave Ingham did say earlier today in the shoot-around that When I asked him what the keys were, obviously he said containing Derek Rucker, but that's easy to say, difficult to do.
Well, I think one of the advantages that he'll have with Roger Smith is the fact that Smith has got quite a bit of reach. He's a tall player, but he's very quick for his size, so he'll be able to keep close enough to Derek that Derek's going to be shooting shots over him rather than getting a really clear look at them, and that'll be the key to how he plays Rucker.
Inside pass to Dalton. They stand their ground, Shane Froling, but Dalton gets it away. It's 2 apiece. So both sides, as usual, just feeling one another out. Curl. Left alone, but quickly the defense comes to him. Tyson couldn't drag it in. Dalton is away. Gets it to Roger Smith, and he runs the floor well, Roger Smith, to get to and put his side in front.
Of course, when you do say things like the Bullets will be careful and they'll slow the game down, they're still going to take their fast break opportunities. I mean, you'll still see the likes of Smith getting out on those plays.
Tyson, the give and go to Curl. It's still with Curl. He's left alone. And Dalton, a very important rebound, and rebounding will be an important statistic tonight. Woodbury. Dalton thought about it. Shot clock and winding down to 15 seconds. This is Dalton. Inside position from Woodbury. He gets one away and it's 2. So it's 6 plays 2 at the early stages of the first quarter here at the Furnace.
Yeah, that 2-week break with the All-Star game means that most of the players on the floor out here have not done anything for the last couple of weeks. And I think there was another game earlier this year where we watched the Suns come out and were very sluggish earlier on with that extra break. So a rest isn't always the best thing for the way the teams will play.
Well, a fundamental mistake from Clarence Tyson, being pinned for the travel. So yet another turnover for the Suns. Averaging 20 per game this season. The worst in the league. Again, the Bullets just looking to run their offense. Woodbury comes off the screen. Shot clock is at 10. Smith. McLean goes baseline. And Dalton is up there to try and tip it in, and eventually he does. So the Bullets, very deliberate in what they want to do every time they come down the floor.
We're setting some good screens and using them very effectively, and what it's going to do too is allow them good rebounding position, like we saw Mark Dalton get on that play.
This is Ruck. Decides to take Smith on. Nothing doing. Back to Curl. He's been called for the travel. So a few fundamental mistakes creeping into the Suns game at the early stages. A bit different to the last couple of games where they've been very quick out of the blocks.
And just a little slow in the half-court offense too. They're not really moving the ball very quickly. The players are not moving quickly. Against a team like Brisbane that has a little bit of age about them, all the guys out there are sort of upwards of the 30 mark. You want to make those people run a lot, but there's Roger Smith just getting inside once again, really breaking the Suns' defense down very easily at the moment.
Nice backdoor play for Smith. Bullets lead 10-2. Tyson to Curl. He thought about it. Tries to give the give and go to Shane Froling. He does well to clean up Froling, but the shot clock is winding down. Rucker takes Woodbury on, still with Rucker, puts on the move. He tries to get it to Tyson, but there's nothing but gold singlets in between and the Bullets again. So they have a chance to stretch this out to 10 points. They're looking good at the early stages. Dalton. Always eyeing off that basket beyond the three-point arc. McLean goes baseline, but the foul is called on Shane Froling for just holding Dwayne McLean back a little.
Yeah, the Suns are going to have to look closely at how they match their players up here right now. You just spoke about Dalton being out away from the basket and looking at those long-range shots. There's Grant Krueger on your screen. He's dragging Clarence Tyson an awful long way away from the basket, and you're seeing the Suns' basket exposed when they really badly need Tyson very close to the rack, ready to pull those boards down. They may have to switch that up.
Well, we've got an offensive foul called on Mark Dalton, an illegal screen. So the Suns have a chance. 2 points came to they scored the first basket of the game, courtesy of Shane Froling. Nothing has gone even remotely close since. Rucker, can he get one? Three. Well, he says it right on cue, doesn't he? 10 plays 5.
Well, I think he'll do what he normally does, and he's quite open about it. He knows that he's got to lead this team, and if at any time that we've seen them in a position where they're a little bit behind, he really does go after it, and he's been able so far in the recent weeks to pull it out of the fire and get them going.
The Bullets now through Dalton. Finding a bit of room to Woodbury. An easy 2 for the Bullets. We have a timeout called, and the Bullets 12-5 midway through the first quarter here at the Furnace. And welcome back to the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. We see Rucker knock down a big 3. David Blades has delved into that timeout to give us an insight. What's the word, Bladesy?
Suns have just started a bit slow there. They've just missed a few shots. Mark's just asked them to change up their defensive strategy here. They have been forcing baseline. They will be forcing the defensive guys to the middle on the penetration. Set a few more back picks in offense and swing the ball around a bit more.
Going for the Suns by 7. David, staying with that?
Oh, for sure, mate. Suns started a bit slow here, but, that seems to have been their trademark over the last couple of months.
But David, when you say starting slowly, I just said a moment ago that I feel that they're not moving quickly enough on offense, that the players aren't as active as they need to be. Would you agree with that?
I do agree with you, but I think it's also the same in defence. Their intensity is not there in the defensive end at the moment, and I think any good coach will tell you that they really need to pick up their defensive intensity so that that'll reflect on the offensive end.
Well, there's Mark Dalton hurting inside and out as he gets a long-range bomb. 15 plays 5. Mark Dalton could be the X-factor for the Bullets tonight. Tyson eventually ropes it in. Krueger goes strong to the hoop. Bit flat on the shot, but it does go down. And 15 plays 7 as the Bullets again look to run it through Dalton. He takes Tyson on. Tyson stands his ground. There's no call. Dwayne McLean now. Dalton again. Loggins, game 450. And again, he delivers. Leroy Loggins needing 6 points tonight to 11,000. That's 2 of them.
That's 3, mate.
3, sorry.
He's halfway there.
Krueger. This is Tyson. Backs in on Dalton. Strong play from Tyson. No call again. Referee says it's legitimate. He was standing his ground. Woodbury tries to get around Krueger. Krueger does nothing, but gets the turnover. Decides to go all the way. Grant Krueger. Oh, he's playing with confidence.
Well, Grant Krueger there showing some pretty good skills in the open court for a big man.
He wasn't going to hand it off at all. It's not often the big men get to run the floor like that. Loggins now. This is Smith. 18 plays 9. The Bullets in front. Rucker with almost a steal. Smith still has it. He gets it out to Loggins. Shot clock winding down. They need something. Loggins looks to deliver, takes it strong to the hoop. The foul has been called. It was before the shot, so the Bullets will get another 30 seconds.
It was Simon Curl that picked up the foul. He's gone to the bench now with Kieran Mitchell-Hill coming in. A couple of changes for the Bullets also. Dalton and Smith are going to sit. Robert Sibley, who is himself a veteran, played an awful lot of games in this league as well. And young Ben Thompson, number 21. Just keep an eye on him. Can shoot the ball from the three-point line as well.
McLean, a bit too eager, being pinned for the travel. So the turnover's starting to mount for both sides. Rucker looking to control the tempo for the Suns. Tyson, baseline to Cameron, doesn't come off, and it's a Bullets possession.
Well, the Bullets going about their work very workmanlike. As you said before, setting a lot of good screens, finding players open in the keyway a lot. And the Suns really need to settle and hang on now. They're only 9 points behind. If they're going to be in this game, they've got to dig in deep now and just wear them down.
Sibley, plenty of screens happening off the ball. Loggins has it. Mitchell-Hill has the job on him. 2 points, and he gets the foul, so what a way. He has a chance to bring up 11,000 points in the Mitsubishi Challenge. It's going to be relatively easy from the charity stripe.
Well, you've seen that 3 million times. A little jump stop. Leans back on the fadeaway jumper and still gets it away. Well, the courtside announcer just told everyone as well, so there's not much pressure on Leroy. I'm sure he'll handle that. There it goes. Point number 11,000.
It's a remarkable effort for Leroy Loggins. We salute you. A long time in the league for Leroy. Leaping Leroy, and he's just going stronger. Celebrates his 40th birthday in December. And Derek Rucker, who's good mates with Leroy, said, "You're not going to steal the limelight too long, son."
Well, that was an impressive move from Rucker. Very, very quick getting into the lane. And look at this, just stepping aside around Sibley, making some space to get it up and still being able to hold his balance in the air to finish off the shot.
And Rucker makes it a three-point play. 21-12. Bullets lead. Suns looking to extend their defence now. McLean eventually gets it over. The alley-oop pass goes well to Ben Thompson.
Dwayne McLean so far, we know him to be one of the best one-on-one players in the league, but he's very unselfish in the way he's playing here tonight, making sure that everyone gets a look at it.
Well, Clarence Tyson looking to exploit that speed on Robert Sibley. And he does it to perfection on that occasion. Sibley has it now for the Bullets. Woodbury. A little bit quicker movement from the Bullets. Loggins gets it back, tries to put it back in. Loggins still up there, tipping it in. And eventually, I think Tyson might have tipped that in, but it will be credited to Loggins. So the Bullets coming up with baskets fairly easily. 25 plays 14, inside to Krueger. Goes up strong and gets two. Asks for the foul as well, not forthcoming.
Well, Dwayne McLean's defence, I think, is something that you'll see the Suns try to expose a little bit too. He's not a great defensive player. We know that he can score, but defence is not his strength.
And Krueger hits the deck and digs straight back up on Dwayne McLean. Thompson for three. Rims in and straight back out. Cameron flicks it out to the skipper. The crowd starting to find voice. Realising there is a bit of an urgency in this first term. They don't want to get too much of a lead. The Suns, Derek Rucker. What a awesome three-pointer, under pressure as well.
And a little bit of gamesmanship there too. It was Steve Woodbury that ran at him. He made the shot, turned around and just tapped Woodbury on the bum and said, "Thanks, baby, that's mine."
Rucker goes up to 9 points. Woodbury tries to get it back.
Comes back with the answer straight away.
Well, the players are showing a bit of one-on-one stuff. Bit of gamemanship, bit of excitement.
There's Woodbury, same as Rucker before on the other end. Have a look at the skills of these players. I mean, they come down in traffic, they'll find a gap, and then find a way to get the ball up and still finish the shot off.
27-19 as Steve Woodbury steps up to the charity stripe to make it a possible three-point play. Which he does. Winding down the last minute of the final first term. Tyson loses it. Straight into the hands of Loggins. The referee plays on. There was a shove. But on transition, Leroy Loggins gets 2 points. And he is quickly into double figures. Leading all scorers, Loggins.
John Zaghetti is out on the floor. He's come in for Dwayne McLean. There's David Ingham going well down the bench there tonight. He used almost everyone that he's got here so far tonight. Almost
another turnover for the Suns, but Kieran Mitchell-Hill gets a big three-pointer to keep his side in touch. The Bullets now, 30 plays 22. This is Zaghetti. Sibley. Loggins on Mitchell-Hill. Bit of a mismatch in terms of experience. But Mitchell-Hill won't take a backward step. Woodbury, the turnaround jumper, doesn't go, and Mitchell-Hill gets an uncontested rebound. So Rucker will settle it down for the last shot of the quarter. It'll be an isolation play for Rucker, which it is. Rucker looks to take Woodbury on. No call. He was looking for the foul, but he gets the steal. So at quarter time, as Woodbury throws up a prayer, 30 plays 22 in the Mitsubishi Challenge here at the Furnace. Second quarter about to get underway. 30 plays 22. The shooting percentage, Trevor, from both teams, very impressive.
Well, it is pretty good. I mean, the Bullets at 59%, and they've got some good looks at shots in close too, which has helped their numbers. The Suns at 56%. When I looked at that, I was a little surprised. I felt that the Bullets had put them under a bit of pressure, but they came back towards the end of that quarter and closed the gap a little, so picked it up. Three-point percentages, the Suns at 50%, the Bullets at 40%. Still pretty good for both teams.
And rebounding at the stage, 11-5 in favour of the Bullets. Tyson inside to Froling. Decides to take Sibley on, which he does. But again, On the boards, the Bullets just a bit superior at the moment. Woodbury. Out to Thompson. Doesn't go. So now Rucker. To Tyson running the floor. Back to Rucker. And the skipper gets 2 to take himself into double figures, 11 for the game thus far, Derek Rucker.
And the Suns right now will be looking to try to get the adrenaline flowing early and get their crowd, the crowd level up and behind them and pushing. They've gone to their 2-3 matchup zone by the look of this right now, just to change things up a bit, trying to make the Bullets work a bit harder to get their shots inside, perhaps push them out to the perimeter.
Shot clock is at 8 seconds. Thompson gets it inside, but it goes straight into the hands of Shane Froling. Curl. He settles it down. David Blades, quarter-time speeches from the coaches. Anything surprising?
Mate, not really. Mark Bragg's just asked his team to lift their intensity, and as we mentioned in the first quarter, that was lacking a bit, both ends of the court. Bullets quite happy. Obviously, Dave Ingham quite happy with the way things are going with his team. Wants to keep the players off the post, especially Clarence Tyson. Just asked his big men to keep pushing him as far off the post as he can. And as we know, Clarence isn't effective once he sort of gets a few steps out of there. So they'll be looking to do that. And then to just keep executing their plays. They're doing a very good job of that, and they're looking after the ball quite well.
Curl decides to take Woodbury on. Inside to Tyson. And he gets 2 to keep the Suns in touch. 32 plays 26. And Woodbury calls a timeout for the Bullets. Coach Dave Ingham wants to have a few words with his side, just to control the tempo. The Suns just a bit of a comeback there, 32-26.
I think what that timeout's been called for in particular is because the Suns have switched their defense to their 2-3 matchup. And Steve Woodbury looked across at Dave Ingham as he was coming out of the backcourt and asked whether he wanted the timeout, and quickly called it. I'm sure what they'll be doing over there right now is reorganising. Maybe we can hear some of this now. Oh, it's pretty hard with the noise in this building.
Yeah, very difficult. If you can lip read, you can probably you're a step ahead of us.
Yeah, that's right. Well, sometimes the coaches go to a whiteboard too, and you can get a look at that. You can see some of the things they're mapping out. But David just talking to the players there right now, and I think he would want them to try and break down the zone a little bit and just penetrate into the gaps. And that'll allow, if you can get the zone to collapse, you get a little bit more space for your outside shooters, and maybe you can get the ball inside at the same time.
We'd like to welcome Pat Malloy, General Manager of Coca-Cola Queensland. Thanks for your support once again, Pat, and welcome along to the Burgers.
For the Bullets, this is Thompson. Zaghetti. Smith. Inside to Zaghetti. Turnaround jumper doesn't go, but Dwayne McLean is in there to stick it back in for 2. David Blades in that timeout.
Yeah, Dave Ingham just had a quick timeout there. The Suns have gone to a 3-3 zone, as you mentioned, just encouraging his players to swing the ball and get some movement on it. They went a bit stagnant there, and that sort of slowed him down a bit. So just asked his players to move the ball around a bit and keep some motion against that zone.
They did successfully on that last trip down the floor to get 2 points. Rucker looked at the basket, straight inside to Tyson. Rims in, straight back out. But it will be a Suns possession. Froling and Dwayne McLean going at it.
Well, Shane Froling doesn't have an offensive board beside his name. Well, he has only one, but he has come up with a couple of possessions at that end of the floor for the Suns, giving them an opportunity to get another look at it.
Curl off the glass for 2, a much-needed 2 from the Suns' point of view. They trail by 6. The Bullets now looking to counteract. McLean to Thompson. Again, just perimeter passing against the zone. Smith penetrates and dishes out to Woodbury. And Shane Froling, the big defensive board, but a bad pass, undoes all his good work. Thompson props up for 2 and gets it. 36-28, the Bullets lead.
There's still, the Suns do look a little disjointed, don't they? They haven't really settled into the kind of cohesion we're used to, and I still think that break for the All-Stars has hurt. But there's Simon Curl, just a little shuffle cut off the high post there of Shane Froling, getting wide open for the layup.
The Suns going back to the basics. The Bullets. This is Smith. Again, not much happening in the zone. The Suns players practically standing there. Thompson. Shot clock is at 9 seconds. Dwayne McLean gets one away. Oh, Roger Smith was up there for an eternity. Woodbury gets it back and off the glass for 2. Well, credit that to Roger Smith. He did get a piece of that ball.
There's one thing you have to remember too in a zone is that the guards have got to box out. Simon Curl was there thinking that the ball was coming down clean to his players and looking for an outlet. The Suns really need both Rucker and Curl to help out on the boards, but there's another turnover.
Well, the turnovers are certainly mounting from the Suns' point of view. That is 8. And we've only played 1.5 quarters of basketball. McLean. That's a bad pass from McLean. Can the Suns make them pay? Curl gets a bit of shove in the back. No call from the referee. It's play on. Now Ben Thompson for the Bullets. He goes from one end of the floor to the other. Clarence Tyson goes flying, and the whistles have been swallowed.
Well, I thought Curl might have been fouled at the other end, but I do believe that on the way to the basket there, Ben Thompson was clean. Tyson was pulling back towards the ring, and there really wasn't much contact because Dwayne McLean made absolutely sure the ball went in.
Well, you can see Simon Curl still going for it. Well, there was definitely a little shove there.
But not a lot. I mean, you're going to get some contact going in there.
Okay, we'll take a bit of a breather. The Bullets leading the Suns by 10. Well, welcome back as the crowd finding a bit of voice. Hoping that that's what they get tonight here at the Furnace. Suns a bit of work to do at the moment. The Bullets looking very, very classy and just going about their business. Rucker. Mitchell Hill comes off the screen. Takes it strong and dishes off to Tyson, but the whistle was before the dunk. So the basket won't count.
Just looking at those stats there again, we've talked about the turnovers already. The Suns with 8, the Bullets with 5, but the rebounds there, the Suns have 7, the Bullets have 18. 9 of those are offensive, and those offensive boards are really what hurt the most. You're going to get your rebounds at your own end. Boy, that was halfway down and crawled back out again.
Poor old Simon Curl just can't get anything at the moment. Thompson for 3. That's a nice shot from Ben Thompson for the Bullets. And they stretch their lead to 13.
Thompson, playing in his first season in the NBL, is not afraid to take the shots. He's a very fine shooter from out there, and I know that he's got the green light from David Ingham. I believe he won a match for the Bullets earlier this season with a 3-pointer at the death.
Well, he's come in for Mike Mackay, who's no slouch from beyond the arc as well. So he seems to think if he shoots and knocks them down. Well, there's another foul. This one's on Dwayne McLean. And I think the face says it all from McLean's point of view.
Well, he didn't like the call, but from where I'm sitting, he got him around about the elbow, so it's a foul for mine.
Rucker. Still with Rucker. Gets around Roger Smith. Puts up a shot under enormous pressure, Derek Rucker. 43-32.
Boy, that's a hell of a shot there. Smith was all over him with a lot of reach, and he still made the thing.
Loggins now, the skipper for the Bullets, just settles it down. Dwayne McLean, Ben Thompson lurking along the baseline. Caught the Suns defense napping and gets 2 points. So Thompson moving up to 9 points. Not bad for a bench player.
The Townsville Suns are just getting, as you called it, napping on the baseline. They're ball watching and looking at what's happening at the top. I mean, that's a pretty simple play, just a one-cutter just swinging through the baseline. You really shouldn't get the ball there. There's Mark Bragg with a few problems at the moment, but it's still early days. They are a few points behind, but if they can close this gap a little coming up to the half, they'll be able to make a run at it in the second.
Tyson backs in, gets 2 points. Works hard every game, Clarence Tyson. Now Loggins left alone. Thought about it, brings it in a little closer, and the nice little floating layup jumper for 2 for Leroy Loggins. 47-34, so every time the Suns get a basket, the Bullets' reply is very quick. Rucker.
The Bullets have now switched their defense to a zone also.
Forcing the Suns to shoot outside. Mitchell Hill. Nothing going at the moment. Time running out on the shot clock. It's down to 4 seconds. Curl will launch this. This is for 3, and it goes down with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Well, some nice patience there shown by the Suns, and Derek Rucker in particular there. Good vision of the court. He was in a double team and still found Curl at the opposite side of the floor.
The 10-point ball game. A turnover, but a foul called by Bob Vink, and that'll be on Clarence Tyson.
Well, he's called a holding foul there. I mean, if we get another look at this, I'd be keen to see whether there are any hands in there. Oh, I don't know. That looks to me like a charge foul. I mean, maybe Clarence was leaning on him a little with a hand, but not enough. I think that's a charge foul.
Well, we do have the benefit of the replay.
And again, we are looking at it from a slightly different angle from where the official who made the call was standing, but I didn't think there was enough.
A few substitutions. Grant Krueger goes to the bench. Jason Cameron checking back in. He's been relatively quiet tonight, Jason Cameron. Has had some big games in recent weeks.
Well, the one thing he hasn't done tonight is take a shot. You know, he is one of their scorers this year. At 12, 13 points a game he's averaging. He really needs to be out there looking to take the shots and not just pass it up. You're going to leave a lot of pressure or allow the defense to get after the likes of Rucker and Curl, Rucker in particular, if he doesn't shoot the thing.
And with Tony D'Ambrosa sitting on the sideline, averaging 14 points a game, the Suns need to find that from someone tonight. The Bullets.
Yeah, and that's somewhat that can be shared around. Well, there's Mark Dalton. See, once again, the Suns, I don't know what's going on there with their defense tonight, but they really are doing a lot of ball watching off the ball. And what I mean by that is facing the ball and not staying side on so you can see what's coming at you from the opposite side of the floor. It's one thing to help where the ball is. You need to know where the cutters are coming from.
49-37. Curl outside for three. Doesn't go. Again, an uncontested read. Not looking good at the moment from the Suns' point of view.
Mate, it's not. Their defence is that goes. The Bullets are getting open looks at everything here, and there's another one that goes down for Dalton from outside the three-point line. And down the other end, the Suns are having to work real hard to get a shot off.
Well, the Bullets shooting at 61% from the field. They have been averaging 45%. Say that if they can keep the Suns below 50 and just improve on their 45, they should win the game. Well, they've gone from 45 to 61.
Well, it gets pretty good when you're standing on that big McDonald's sign there right in the keyway shooting the ball. I mean, the Suns' defense, as David described it right now, is lousy. It's just not anywhere near the standard they've been at. Don't take anything away from the Bullets, though. They're executing well, and they're exploiting those weaknesses tonight, and that's what it's all about. 61%. If they shoot 61% all night, well, you can give them the trophy for the evening already. But the Suns are still up there at 55, and I really don't think their offense has been terribly effective. They have on occasions looked good. They have on occasions got it inside, but the Bullets have done a very good job of making sure they're extending out to the shooters. And I don't think either Rucker or Curl has really had a comfortable look at a shot tonight. And as we said before, Cameron's not taking him. So the Suns with, I think, that two-week break, again, it's not an excuse, it's just a fact that I believe that teams play better when they're playing every week rather than with a break.
Yeah, well, with that, Trevor, they did play on Tuesday night, though, didn't they? Against a local CBA side in the Cairns Marlins, who are leading the Northern Conference of the CBA. So, I mean, they've had, what, a game 4 days ago.
But that game was probably nothing better than practice, and that's no disrespect to the CBA team and the Cairns Marlins. They're a fine side at their level, but there's a big difference between them and the Bullets. And the Suns, I believe, there's Leroy away with another steal.
Well, let's take nothing away from Brisbane. They're not third on the ladder for no reason. They're showing why tonight. They're just doing everything right and basically forcing the Suns into a lot of very simple errors. Well, there's a foul on Mark Dalton, just holding Clarence Tyson on that occasion.
You see the hand hooking back there and hanging on, and that's what he was called for. I think we should, just finish that point we're making about the Cairns team. In that game, the Suns won relatively comfortably and played most of their bench in the fourth quarter. So that indicates the level in the difference in the games. There's Tyson with another turnaround, just not fitting yet.
Well, the Suns are still shooting at 53%. They're just not getting the stops down this end of the floor. Dalton has already hit 2 from beyond the arc. McLean inside to Woodbury. Dalton again for 3. Not on this occasion. But the Suns go scrapping for it, so do the Bullets. Eventually, Jason Cameron brings it down.
Well, the Bullets certainly aren't backward and coming forward with their perimeter shots, and everybody out there is looking at them. And again, that's dragging defensive players away from the rim, which allows you inside.
Rucker entangled with Roger Smith. Probably the easiest call the referee will have all night.
It certainly was. They don't come any easier than that one. There's Roger Smith is just all over Derek tonight, but Derek still has come up so far with 13 points at 5 of 9 shooting for 56%. So as close as Roger Smith has worn him tonight, it's been like a glove. He still hasn't been able to shut him down all that effectively.
And Rucker to the line for 2. Very quiet, probably the quietest you'll ever hear it at the furnace.
Well, when we get down to that final quarter is when things seems to light up around this place. And again, the Suns need to 15 points. That's a good break for the Bullets right now. If they can hang on that to half-time, they've got to be fairly confident approaching the second half.
Well, just remembering the Suns have never beaten the Bullets here in a regular season of the Mitsubishi Challenge. And there have been some shockers here at the furnace from the Suns' point of view. I remember that game back in 1993 where Shane Heal just went ballistic.
With 61 points, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And there's what looked like a fairly soft call on Simon Curl to the floor on the contact between the two players. But there's one thing the referees do look for too, is they're wary of players who throw themselves on those plays. And I've got to say this, Jason is known to do that. And he does it because he's a smart defensive player. If he can buy that foul, well, that's a one he picks up on his opposition matchup.
52-38. The Bullets again looking to stretch their lead. Woodbury. Loggins comes off the screen. Curl has the job on him. Forgets to block out. And Loggins just tips it down to Mark Dalton, who gets another easy 2 with 2 minutes left to play in the second term.
Well, Mark Bragg will be on the mobile phone at half-time. He'll be calling the Army base out here at Laverack looking for some defence because he's not getting anything from his group right now.
Cameron. You worked on that one for me. It was. Loggins in the open court. It's 3-on-2. The Suns Army or defense eventually gets back. Woodbury. Terrible shot. Rucker gets it to Mitchell Hill. He connects for 3. No, he doesn't. Cameron tries to tip it out. Rucker with the steal. Curl has it. Gets it to Tyson. He goes up strong and can't get it, but he tips it back in. So a bit of a comedy of errors from both teams.
Well, Clarence Tyson just pushing up his offensive rebound stats on that one.
Dwayne McLean just settles it down. Plenty of time, they're leading by 14. And Woodbury calls one shot. Shot clock is at 8. Woodbury for 3. And it goes down for the Bullets. So they're just continuing that impressive shooting percentage. Curl inside to Tyson. Does he get 2? No. That'll be a Suns possession, though, with 46 seconds left to play until halftime.
17-point break. I would not have picked this before the game. If anyone said to me either team would be up by 17 now, I would have said, no, it can't happen. He said 58% from the shooting percentage. That's an awful lot of shots going down for the Bullets.
The Bullets have been impressive. Can they continue it? Or can the Suns stop the rot? Rucker takes on Roger Smith and gets 2. Now the Bullets will bring it up very slowly and look for one shot, but there is a bit of a differential between the game clock and the shot clock. It's only a matter of a 3 or 4 second differential. Woodbury. Curl has the job on him. The Suns don't want to foul. Dwayne McLean now. You can see both game clock and shot clock. McLean decides to take on his player. Mitchell Hill gets it back. He's got 5 seconds to do something. So now the Suns looking for their last second play.
The 3.6 seconds is long enough to get a good look at the basket. Curl.
He's got to throw up something. He does. And he's not happy. He wants another foul, but it's just not happening. So at half-time, the Bullets have been very impressive. 57-42. Welcome back. Well, if you're a Bullets fan, you'd have to be fairly happy with that scoreline. From the Suns' point of view, bit of work to do. Let's have a look at the match stats. 57 plays 42. Well, Trevor, both teams would have to be happy with the field shooting percentage, but the three-point shooting percentage from the Suns' point of view, they wouldn't be happy with that.
Well, it wasn't too bad earlier on, but the Bullets have forced them out wide. They've lived a little bit out there because they haven't been able to get the ball inside as much as they'd like. the Bullets have a big lineup, so they can reach the players on the shots and put a lot more pressure on them, as we've seen with teams like the Magic. So Derek Rucker, Simon Curl struggling a little to get shots away, but Derek still with 16 points at a high percentage. Simon Curl is a bit low at only 7 points. Jason Cameron hasn't shot the ball. They really badly need him to be a shooter out there.
Well, let's have a look at the top scorers. Derek Rucker playing a lone hand from the Suns' point of view. Clarence Tyson, relatively quiet as well, 8 points, and he only has 2 rebounds. Steve Woodbury with 14, Mark Dalton 14, and I think 6 of those points have come from beyond the three-point arc. Leroy Loggins, well, as we said, 12 points, and that is 11,006 points in the Mitsubishi Challenge. And importantly, the young Thompson coming in off the bench with 9 very, very important points from the Bullets' point of view.
Well, he is more than just a bench player for the Bullets. He is a valuable part of their lineup. He plays significant minutes. And I was just looking at another stat on our official stats from the NBL stats keepers, and one of them is second effort points. It shows the Brisbane Bullets is picking up 14, the Suns 4. What they mean by second effort is having missed a shot inside, getting it back and scoring again. It's a difference in the rebounds of 23 compared to 11 in favour of the Bullets, and that's possessions, and possessions mean points.
Well, the Suns playing in a new strip tonight, the white. They get first use of the ball in the second half, but again, the Bullets' defence equal to the task to force the turnover straight to Dalton, and not quite 2 points on this occasion. Clarence Tyson dragging in. Rebound number 3 for him. Roger Smith read the punter off again. Woodbury now settles it down.
Well, it's turnovers and missed shots 3. Baskets nothing.
McLean decides to take Froling on. Just floating up for 2, but again, the second effort, as Trevor mentioned, Steve Woodbury gets 2.
And not only there, the problem in the one-on-one matchup with McLean, but the players off the ball, dragged in towards it, didn't pin the player coming in from the offside looking for the rebound.
Tyson to Curl. Decides to take the player on. It's play on, says the referee. Tyson cleans up, but Roger Smith gets up there for a big defensive board. Now McLean. This is Woodbury. Again, the Bullets. Very patient and will use every available second on the shot clock. Pass inside to Dalton. Back out. Rucker reads it well. Now the Suns. What can they do this time? Curl gets it inside to Froling. He decides to go strong to the hoop. The only way he knows how, and he gets the foul off Dalton.
No question about that foul. That was probably the second easiest call tonight also. Mark Dalton made no effort to play the ball. Decided he'd put Shane Froling on the line.
Well, David Blades, just having a look at the Suns dressing room, both Mark Bragg and Dave Lindstrom were outside. A few words being exchanged. Have they come up with a winning recipe in the second half?
Well, mate, the biggest thing, as you've just said there before, is the difference in the rebounding, and I just think that the Bullets are playing with a lot more intensity and want to win this game at the moment a lot more than what the Suns do. And they really need to pick up their defensive intensity, and one way that they're going to look at doing it is here with this full court press, and hopefully it'll lift the Suns a bit here and bring them back into this game.
Well, David, that's the hardest thing for the coach to find to rectify, isn't it? The fact that your players don't want to win the game enough. It's not something they're consciously thinking. It's the way they're playing.
Well, that's true. You go out and you work all week. You work on execution offensively and defensively, and you get the team prepared. And it's hard for you to do anything else, to encourage the team to want to go out there and play hard enough to win. Now, obviously, these guys want to win, but the way they're playing at the moment doesn't sort of indicate that.
Well, the Bullets are running very hot at the moment. They want to win this as much as anyone. They're currently third. This would give them a nice little buffer in the Mitsubishi Challenge, which this year is awfully close. Tyson. Shot clock at 9 seconds. Roger Smith, uncontested rebound again, and the Bullets are off. Mark Dalton settles it down and gives it to Dwayne McLean, the D-Train.
This is a pretty important game for the Bullets tonight for another reason too. With the 3-game format now this season where each team plays each other 3 times, the Suns won the first one down in Brisbane. The Bullets, if they can get this and get either team then is playing for an advantage in a situation where they could be tied at the end of the season. And this season is so close that that's going to be absolutely vital to a lot of teams in the closing stages.
Well, again, another second effort for the Bullets. They put up a shot, get the offensive board, and then get another 30 seconds. Smith to Loggins. Dalton. Plenty of ball movement from the Bullets. They do look good. Woodbury on the shot. He gets the foul of Curl, so he'll go to the line for a three-point play.
Steve Woodbury on the pull-up jump shot. And while there's not a lot in that, Simon Curl did reach in, did get him on the forearm. And they must protect the shooter. That is the referee's job.
Well, the Bullets have just continued on in this third term. They led 57-42 at the half. Now 65-44.
You go looking for reasons in games like this, don't you, to try and find out why there is such a difference in the game. It's a little hard there to pick up Mark Bragg at the moment. Maybe we can.
All you have to do is find a little bumper that's very, very hard. Come on, Louise. Come on, Colin.
Well, it seems to be saying move the ball on offense, and that's a fairly standard thing. I mean, you've got to do that to find open shots. I'm going to say it again, Jason Cameron still hasn't had a shot. I believe he has to shoot the ball.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he's been shooting tremendously in the last couple of weeks. He is averaging 13 points a game. And not to take a shot in a half of basketball, you find very, very hard to believe. But again, he hasn't been open or hasn't been getting the ball at the right time to be open.
Well, that's true, and the Bullets have done a good job of getting to the perimeter shooters. They've obviously done their homework. They're not allowing any of them to get really good looks, but I still think that, you know, you need each player to be looking to contribute. I don't believe Jace is doing enough of that tonight, and he is better off the penetration than what he probably gives himself credit for. A lot of what he's done this year has been spotting up and shooting good long-range three-point jumpers, but he is capable of breaking the defense down. But if you don't do it, it allows your man to be a help player on another player on the floor.
Well, Steve Woodbury does make it a three-point play. 66-44. Curl for three. Well, that'll ignite the crowd here at the Furnace for the Bullets now. They'll look to just settle it down again. They know that the Suns have to play catch-up basketball. They're in front, and they're just looking to score easily as they do on that play through Mark Dalton.
Well, that was really, there really wasn't even a screen in that play. He's just cut to the ball there, got a wide open, got a shot right inside.
Cameron, his first shot is good.
From that range, it should be.
And it's taken, well, there's 7:58 left to play in the third quarter, and that has been his first shot in the basketball game.
But that, of course, is not the Suns' only problem tonight, and they have been scoring at a 50% shooting rate, which is around about their season average, which is, in fact, the best in the league. So it's this end of the floor that's their problem. The Bullets are doing a heck of a job of getting good looks at a shot. Look at this again. That is just very, very poor defense away from the ball.
Well, the shot clock was right down to 5 seconds then, but credit Roger Smith. He's just making them pay. That takes his personal tally up to 6. Cameron looked at it on that occasion. Got it to Tyson, who goes baseline. Good pass from Jason Cameron. Now, Tyson and Rucker trying to spur on their team.
As Mark Dalton just gave up the foul there again on this play. Again, Tyson doing just as Roger Smith did at the other end of the floor, lurking in low and coming in from behind the backboard. Now, I think Dalton's comment there to his teammates was, you know, I can't cover that. We've got to get some help from behind.
The rebounding stat, 27-12. Tyson makes it a three-point play, 70-52. Now the Suns look to extend their defense and immediately come up with the ball. Rucker settles it down. So the Suns looking to lift their tempo. Time is running out. They know the urgency of the situation now. Curl for three. We've got a foul, and it's going to be called on Grant Krueger, just making a bit of room. And Mark Dalton went flying.
Let's have a look, see what Krueger's doing here, and I don't think there's too much doubt about that. Oh, yes, Mark Dalton did have a hold of his arm, but they were both trying to get position, but in the end, Grant clearing him out. As Mark Dalton got a knock to the elbow, I believe, has gone to the bench. And Robert Sibley coming in. That's not a bad switch either. Another player who's been in this league a long time. Got a couple of championship rings to his credit.
Well, the Suns know they're trailing by 18, so they will chase everything now. Dwayne McLean. Oh, and the jam to boot. Well, That's just stunned the crowd here at the Furnace. But the Bullets are looking good.
Well, that's a sign of an experienced team. The Suns are trying to lift their game with a press, but a press... Well, there's Robert Sibley, blocks that one. Says not this time, Simon Curl, but the press can hurt you if a team passes well.
Rucker gets the steal. Curl launched a bit early on the shot clock, but Tyson goes chasing it. Everyone's chasing it. Eventually, the Suns come up with it.
A little bit more intensity there, a bit hungry for the ball.
Well, a timeout has been called just as the Suns lifted their intensity. Why has it taken a whole half of basketball? We'll be back on the other side of the break to answer that. 72-52. Welcome back as we have a look at the D-Train. Jamming home for two to give his side a 20-point buffer. This is Rucker. Curl. Nice pass to Tyson. Oh, there it is from Tyson again. A possible three-point play coming up for the Suns.
Well, that was a hell of a play from Clarence Tyson. He knew he had Sibley there within reach of the ball, and in the air, with a lot of hang time, was able to find a way to get it around him.
Well, David Blades was in the Suns timeout, I think, on that occasion. Anything to report, Bladesy?
Yeah, mate, Suns are just trying to change their offense up a bit. As you saw there, they've got Jason Clarence line up on the top and trying to run Derek off a few picks and then slide Clarence down into the post to look for a couple of easy buckets there. Once again, they're looking at pressing up, putting on a full-court press after the made bucket and try and lift up their intensity there. But it's always hard, you know, if you haven't been doing it in the first half, it's always hard to try and lift it as the game goes on.
Well, can you say, why haven't they been doing it in the first half, David? I asked the question prior to the break.
Mate, that's hard to say. As you guys said earlier, they had the game on Tuesday, and it's not like they haven't been on the court for a couple of weeks. And it's really just hard to say, and they didn't start the game with the intensity that they needed, and you know, they're finding a bit of trouble getting themselves back into the game here.
74 plays 55. This is Curl. Inside to Tyson. Oh, nice pass to Derek Rucker, left alone. He got free from his man. And the Suns slowly pegging back this lead.
Well, on that occasion, a lot better work away from the ball. When the ball got to the block with Tyson, he didn't have to play one-on-one, but this, again, is too easy. But a missed layup from Woodbury.
And now, a few things going right for the Suns. But they've got a lot of work to do. The Bullets now will show... Will they get a defensive stop on that occasion? So now they can show why they're in third spot, Brisbane. They're under a bit of pressure, not much. Leroy Loggins misses on that shot. Clarence Tyson, well, that's a great effort. He was on the floor down the other end of the court, and he was the one who got the rebound.
Well, that's the story of tonight. Two of the Suns players got to the ball and knocked it out of bounds.
74-57. Plenty of experienced heads on the Bullets lineup. Loggins being one of them. Even this man, D-Train, he's been around for a while. He just settles it down for the Bullets. Shot clock is at 9 seconds. Woodbury spots up for three. A big basket, Steve Woodbury.
It just takes that break back out to 20 points again. Each time the Suns have made any sort of a run, they've answered the Bullets with a pretty good shot from long range. Here's Mitchell Hill. Nice move there from Mitchell Hill. Good turnaround jumper over the top of Woodbury.
Well, the Suns need to get some defensive stops down this end of the floor. They've got to stop the Bullets from scoring. They can't go point for point now. Woodbury off the screen for two. He's starting to light it up. Steve Woodbury goes to 24 points for the game. Rucker for three. Whoa, what you can do, I can do better. And Rucker is barking instructions to his teammates.
Just watch too what the Bullets are doing. Leroy Loggins is down in the low post there trying to work his man, which is Derek Rucker. He has a significant advantage there in height if they decide to use it.
The double team, there is a man free. Sibley is it. Spots up for two. Doesn't go. But the Suns, oh no, I was going to say the Bullets get the possession, but the Suns come up with it through Rucker. He doesn't waste any time. goes down the floor and gets 2. Rucker is up to 18 points, 20 points for the game. And a timeout has been called. 79-64. The Suns slowly pegging it back. 3 minutes left to play in the third term.
It's Dave Ingham calling that timeout. Smart play from the Brisbane Bullets coach. And a guy who has done another very good job with this team this year. Kenny had some problems earlier on with injuries with some players, and they cut one of the imports they had earlier in the season before they signed McLean. You lose Roger Mackay. I mean, he's a hell of a good player to lose, and yet the Bullets have worked their way up into third spot, and that's a sign of a guy that's doing a good job with his team.
Well, we can't really hear too much in the Suns timeout, but we can see a few diagrams being drawn.
Staying straight, man. Really pressure the basket. You don't go double or anything like that right now, okay?
Well, I think what's been talked about there again is their press that they're trying to run and trying to get players onto double teams and maybe force some turnovers. They really do need to get the Bullets in a situation where they're coughing up the ball a little bit. You know, the rebound count is now 29 to 15. There's still a significant difference there in possessions, and it's not very easy to get these Bullets players to throw the thing away. They're very, very smart with the ball.
Well, David Blades was in the timeout on that occasion. We heard a few instructions from both teams. A bit of talk, a bit of composure. What's the word, David?
But the Bullets obviously just called a quick timeout there because the Suns have started to peg it back. Suns will be looking to try and cut this down to under 10 before three-quarter time here. Bullets are just, Dave Ingham just concerned, get their players defensively to pick up the ball a bit quicker. Derek's been able to just come down the court there and pull up a few times. Pick that up a bit earlier and don't let him come down and get into anything off the break.
Well, there was a rebound from John Zaghetti. He didn't even have to leave the floor on that occasion. He just dragged it in. So the Suns have to get a bit more desperate on the rebounding end. McLean gets 2. And a much-needed 2 for the Bullets, just to continue to make it hard for the home team.
Brad Davidson is on the floor for the Suns. Their backup point guard to Derek Rucker. Might be looking at Rucker's a long way out on that one.
Well, the screen was set from Grant Krueger. Almost a backcourt it is, says the referee. The defensive pressure. Woodbury is blowing up. Everyone is blowing up.
Boys are just having a friendly chat there, Ken. They're discussing where they're going to have a few drinks after the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, the Suns, Kieran Mitchell-Hill wanted the ball quickly. He wanted to try and get it in bounds, and Steve Woodbury was not going to have any part of that.
Rucker threads the needle well and gets the foul, so he'll go to the charity stripe. It's on. Check this out. Smith has been called for an unsportsmanlike foul.
Well, let's see who the call was on. It has to be Smith, because Smith was the first one to react. I believe it is. Steve Bignell came across into the huddle to just check to see the number.
Well, there's no shortage of feeling between these two sides. Both Queenslanders, and both want to be #1 in the state. We're getting down to that end of the game, the business end. The Bullets are leading quite handsomely, though, 81-64. Sometimes this can go the way of the home team. Get the crowd involved.
I'm just going to say, I think there's been more than one foul called here. I believe that there has been 2 fouls called, one for the intentional and another for a technical foul.
Well, this would have to be the Rucker's shots for his, because the foul was initially called on a Bullets player as Rucker went to the hoop.
Well, he'll stay at the line anyway for the technical foul, free throws.
Yeah, no, that's what's happened. The foul has been called, the one that was on who hit Rucker, and then an unsportsmanlike foul on Roger Smith. So this will be 2 shots, and they will get possession as well.
Well, three points coming from that. That's 67-81 now, bringing the gap to 14. And if the Suns can come up with another good play right now and score again, they're getting close to that 10-point margin, which could be enough to give them a sniff of the scent towards the end. Dave Ingham has asked a question. We're not sure what it's about. Mike Reese just going across to explain why, but I'm not sure what the question was. It certainly was an intentional foul, which means you get the ball back at half.
81-67. Rucker looking to put the moves on Roger Smith. Well, this is why he got the MVP in the All-Star game. Derek Rucker has had an exceptional season in 97. 28 points for the game.
If there's going to be a turning point in the game, that was it right there. And I think one of the things that happened was, first off, a couple of things said between the players actually fired up the Suns guys and have got them a little more involved.
McLean tries to settle it down. Krueger. Rucker comes up with it in the open court. Derek Rucker. Oh, not a good pass to Cameron. He flicks it to Curl. It doesn't go. The Suns needed that to drop. But the Bullets, cool under pressure, they drag in the rebound. Well, that would have been a crucial shot. The foul has been called on Grant Krueger.
He's called for coming over the back on the rebound, and Krueger has only 2 fouls in the game, which is a big difference in the way he plays these days. He doesn't seem to be in anywhere near as much foul trouble as he was over the last couple of seasons.
So the Suns extend their defense. The Bullets just settle it down. Dwayne McLean very calm. Zaghetti gets it into Loggins. Rucker got a piece of the ball. Bodies go flying everywhere. It'll be a jump ball, Krueger and Loggins.
Well, Derek Rucker did a heck of a job there to get close to Leroy. Got a hand on the ball on the block shot. I think could have been a little bit lenient from the referees. He was in pretty tight. Leroy thinks so anyway. He's asking for the foul, but it's all academic now. We've got a jump ball to come.
And Krueger wins the tap. It'll be a Bullets ball.
Well, I would have thought that Ben Thompson knocked that out, but there's 2 players going for it. The referees have got to pick one.
Thompson for 3. Woodbury. And eventually Zaghetti taps it back in. So there's that second and third options that the Bullets have got all night.
Offensive rebound number 16. That is just too many possessions to give a team like this right under your basket.
Krueger takes it strong to the hoop on Zaghetti. He gets the foul, so he'll go to the line for 2. 83-69. 24 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
Well, the foul was called on the floor prior to Krueger going for the shot, but it is the Bullets now have 5 in the quarter, or they have 6 fouls in fact, and Grant Krueger takes the 2 free throws in any case.
I suppose you'd have to say if the Suns can get this back within 10, they're a chance.
Well, it's here, 10, 11, 12, thereabouts. You're there. You're certainly within striking distance. If it was 20 at the 3-quarter break, I would think they couldn't do it. But this margin is reachable.
So the Bullets looking for the last shot in the quarter. There is no 30 seconds.
But Davidson is just all over McLean, not allowing him to mess with the ball too much.
There was a bit of an elbow from McLean. He went undetected. So the Bullets through Loggins. He'll get the last shot. It doesn't go. Now the Suns looking for something quickly. Not enough time. That didn't look too bad from Derek Rucker. So at 3-quarter time, it's still anyone's game. The Bullets lead 83-71. Well, it's all come down to this. The Bullets lead by 12 as we enter the final 12 minutes of basketball.
Well, looking at the Brisbane Bullets tonight, I believe they set more screens and they do it more effectively than any of the top-level teams that we've seen come up here in recent weeks. And I think that's one of the things the Suns will really struggle with late in this final quarter, is that they will be fighting through screens constantly throughout the last stretch of this match.
Well, the Suns get first use of possession. A 3-pointer here could be just what the doctor ordered. We've got a foul. It's off the ball. It'll be on John Zaghetti. Fouls could come into play as well. Roger Smith, Mark Dalton, from the Bullets' point of view, are in foul trouble. Both on 4.
And there you see Zaghetti trying to bounce Tyson out off the block or the edge of the lane, as it's the block area is what the coaches refer to as the low post position. But yeah, you're right, those fouls down inside could, if they start to get out of hand, perhaps give Tyson a bit more space.
Rucker, it's only for 2. Krueger toiling hard inside there. It'll be a Suns possession. Well, they're going to have 4 bites at the cherry this time. And they're still yet to score.
But Grant Krueger was the only player in there on the boards. They really need big Clarence in there as well. And they turn it over straight away. And that's a very soft turnover in relation to the effort that was put in to get the ball back.
So Loggins. The Bullets making to look the Suns. They'll make them pay for this. Thompson looks to get it inside. Not a good pass. Well read by the Suns. Curl behind the back. Oh, he puts on the move. Simon Curl. Now the Suns immediately chase and extend their defense. But the Bullets break it down with relative ease. Loggins gets around. Straight into Krueger. That must have hurt.
Well, that wasn't a very good shot either, I would think, from Leroy. That was a tough shot early in the offense. You can get one of those later on. Hoping to buy a foul, I believe.
Well, another foul. This one will be on John Zaghetti again, I think, or maybe Thompson.
Team fouls will come into this. It's 2 fouls for the Bullets now. The Suns still don't have one. Substitution coming from the Bullets. Roger Smith is coming back in for Ben Thompson. And Smith has some foul problems. He's on 4. He'll match up on Rucker straight away.
Curl for 3. Whoa. Well, it's gone from 83-71 to 83-76 in a matter of minutes. Well, seconds, really. Curl goes flying. It's play on. Now we've got a whistle. And that is on Simon Curl. Well, David Blades, 3/4 time. What was the word?
Mate, Mark's just asked his team to keep putting on that forecourt press, not so much looking for steals, just to slow the Bullets down a bit so that they don't have as much time in their half court to execute, and then offensively just look to execute and start to go inside if they can.
Well, that's a big play from Steve Woodbury. Probably one of the smallest men on the court, getting up for that second offensive chance. Rucker goes baseline, flicks it out to Curl for 3. It's down. Curl is finding range. That's an ominous sign for the Brisbane Bullets. 85-79.
We've got an intentional foul called here on Dwayne McLean. Grant Krueger has bought one. He'll go to the line for 2 shots here right now, and another ball back for the Suns.
Oh, look at George Colbrand. The naming rights sponsor of the McDonald's Suns is going ballistic, as is 4,100 fans.
Have a look at the sign coming up. There was one placed on every seat here at this venue. Everyone has a sign saying Suns up. Well, earlier in the night, I would have thought that it wasn't a possibility, but there's Dwayne McLean shaking his head. And I must say, I really didn't get a close look at what happened down in the corner, other than Grant Krueger, who nails the first one, going to the floor. Perhaps an elbow or something, but Steve Bigler was right on the spot and had no hesitation.
Well, this is where you have to credit the Suns, don't you, Trevor? You look at the statistics and say there is no way in the world they should be in this basketball game. 17 offensive boards to 2.
That's right.
I mean, you look at stats and say they're supposed to say how a basketball game went. This is just not going as it should, according to the statistics. 85-81.
I think the one thing that's happened in the last few minutes of play, the end of the last quarter and the start of this, is the fact, here's Tyson with a big board. Bullets strip it, is the fact that the Suns have gone out and got right in the face of the Bullets players. And it hasn't always been pleasant, but it's certainly lit up their side of the game. And the Bullets have backed off a little. They've got to regroup a bit right now if they're going to take this one.
Loggins, he's one man who can lead them to victory. Woodbury, well, he's had a big game too, Steve Woodbury. 28 points at 67%.
And matched up on Derek Rucker. They've taken Derek straight down in the low post where Woodbury can elevate over him. Tyson with a great move there to his left. Knocks down the little jumper.
Well, he has been quiet, Clarence Tyson, up until half-time. But it's hard to keep a good man down. 16 points for Tyson.
Well, he often does become a factor late in the game, though, doesn't he? Teams will do a good job on him early, but he'll keep coming.
It's a 4-point ball game. The Bullets lead. McLean. Shot clock is at 9 seconds. Curl stands his ground. Woodbury for 3. It doesn't go. Now the Suns are blocking out. Straight to Cameron. This is for 3. No! Why didn't he take it? He went back to Derek Rucker. He was open. There was no one within QE.
Once you make that commitment, you have to stay with your decision and live with it. But that's That's the way it goes. You've got to get on with the next play now. What Jason's got to try to do now is come up with a rebound or a defensive stop for his team.
He has the job on Woodbury. This is McLean. The Bullets very methodical, taking their time. Shot clock is at 5 seconds. Smith off the glass. It doesn't go. It's into the hands, but Smith does well to get it back. Good tenacious stuff from Roger Smith. And again, the Bullets get another 30 seconds to run their play.
He'll be working now and setting good screens to get the likes of Woodbury in particular free. He's been shooting the ball so well. We've got an offensive foul called on Leroy Loggins. A moving screen called by Bob Vink. Leroy was never really set. Steve Woodbury setting off on the dribble a little early. Watch Leroy trying to move in and push, and that is definitely an illegal screen. You have to be stationary. You can't be leaning into the player.
Shane Froling back into the fray. Well, 87-83. The Suns haven't led apart from the opening seconds of the game when Shane Froling got 2 points. It's been all Brisbane, and the Suns have miraculously come back in a big way. Rucker, well, he's just toying with the opposition. The foul has been called on Roger Smith. Simon Curl knocks down a 3. It won't count.
Roger Smith, I believe, is now up to 5 fouls. Derek Rucker is obviously going to go after whoever matches up on him right now for one very good reason. The Brisbane Bullets are now in 5 team fouls. Now, Rucker is going to be very, very hard to contain in a one-on-one situation. If he gets fouled, you're putting him on the line on every play.
That makes it 3 points the difference. And Rucker, 78% from the charity stripe tonight. And it's a 2-point ball game with still 7.5 minutes to play. Well, at one stage it was looking a blowout. Then the Suns have come back. And anything can happen in this last 7 minutes. Woodbury, 28 points for the game. Inside to Smith. The Suns' defense has really cranked up a notch. Oh, Woodbury, great shot under pressure.
I would think that the Brisbane Bullets will be their toughest task over the last... They've beaten some good teams in the last week, but the Bullets are so deliberate. They won't just give you a quick possession.
Rucker for 2.
Oh, he is on fire. That's 30 points for Derek Rucker. 11 of 18 at 61%. He and Steve Woodbury tonight have really put on a show.
The 2-point guards for their respective teams. This is Roger Smith. Again, 2 points, the difference. The Bullets lead. Dalton, a foul. It's off the ball. It's on Kieran Mitchell-Hill. Woodbury again just turns around and knocks it down for 2.
Kieran Mitchell-Hill up to 3 fouls. He's had some pretty tough matchups tonight. Steve Woodbury, nobody would have got the job out there right now. He's doing such a tremendous job as well. 30 points, 13 of 20, 65%.
There's Dave Ingham on screen, stalking the sidelines. This is Woodbury. He's becoming the money man for Brisbane. And that is why. Steve Woodbury, 32 points. Derek Rucker, 32. Who's going to come out on top?
Leroy Loggins has drawn the task on Rucker. Rucker straight in the lane. He's picked up another foul. He'll go to the line again. It looks like it's pretty much going to be isolation plays out here right now. It's going to be give Woodbury the ball and get out of his way. Derek Rucker's going to take it at him.
Well, it's going to come down to who can stop the respective point guards, if anyone.
Well, I think you'll find Woodbury will shoot the ball perhaps a little more often than Derek might, in the sense that if Derek gets in the lane, the other players that they feed off him, he will give it up. Derek, I think, is more of a passer in that situation, but Steve is shooting the ball so well. Why give it to anyone? Just put it in the hole.
Which there's 4 players for the Bullets in double figures and 4 for the Suns. Rucker up to 34 points at 61% from the field. Well, there's not much difference between the two. Assists very similar. Rebounding probably the edge for Steve Woodbury. This is Dwayne McLean. Shane Froling looking to stop him. He does so. but Mark Dalton is there. Woodbury gets another rebound. 9 rebounds for Steve Woodbury, and he goes up to 34 points. Mitchell Hill to Cameron. Back to Mitchell Hill. 93-89, it's back out to 4 for the Bullets. Rucker off the screen for 2, it's short. And who's there to drag in the rebound, but none other than Steve Woodbury.
Steve Woodbury has 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He's not that far away from, well, there's a few assists, but he's still not that far away from a triple-double type performance.
McLean, shot clock at 8 seconds. Time running out for the Bullets. Leroy Loggins has it. Mitchell Hill, I think, got a piece of that, but Loggins does well to get 2 and gives his side a bit of breathing space. 95 plays 89.
Well, welcome back, and it's the Brisbane Bullets just putting a small break in this game now. 95-89, a 6-point margin could be just enough as we approach the later stages. David Blades, what's the situation, mate? What did you get?
Oh, mate, there's another turnover there for the Suns. It's something they can ill afford at the moment here. They're looking to go to a 2-3 zone until the Bullets get a bucket here. Hopefully that'll help them on the defensive end. I mean, this time of the game, crunch time, they really need to box out and not let the Bullets get any offensive rebounds.
Do you think they can afford to back up into the zone, though, David, and not put pressure on the Bullets up the floor?
Well, it's a tough one. The Bullets have been shooting the ball well. Woodbury's been shooting well from outside, and you know, the risk that you've got to take. And, you know, hopefully for the Suns it can work out.
Well, the Bullets have pressured Clarence Tyson into a very, very costly mistake, and they'll come up with possession, leading by 6.
Well, one thing the zone defense will do, it will keep Clarence closer to those rebound situations. He'll be playing in under the basket and working on whoever comes into that area. And unfortunately on that occasion, coming up with a turnover. But as David said, if they can keep the Bullets out wide with their scoring options and grab some boards, they may just get into a transition game they can pick up some cheap baskets from.
Well, they've done well. Bullets have to get a shot away. It's at 5 seconds. Woodbury takes them on. Time has run out.
Shot clock is gone.
So that's good defensive pressure from the Suns. So fortunately, that mistake from Clarence Tyson didn't cost them any points.
Well, David, you'd have to say that it worked that time down, mate, exactly as the coaches were looking for.
Well, it did, yeah, and obviously when you go into a zone, you're hoping it slows the offensive down, and it happened then. The Bullets sort of stood around for a bit. You know, it might take them 2 or 3 possessions to get back into the flow of their offense, and that's what you're really looking for when you're swapping up defenses.
Rucker comes off the screen, thought about the 3, gets it to Curl, in turn to Tyson. He backs in on Dalton, nothing doing. Straight back into the hands of Tyson, still nothing doing. Cameron for 3. Well, we've been saying it all night, haven't we?
Well, that's the very first one he's taken, and he's made it. But I guess if there's any time to make it, it's right now. 3:43 remaining.
Well, he's fast becoming a money man too for the Suns. He hasn't shot much at all. Well, in fact, he's only taken 3 shots tonight, and he's hit 2 of them. Dalton into Thompson, top of the key. Tyson. Whoa, what a rebound from Clarence Tyson. 95 plays 92. Rucker is looking to tie it up.
And does. It's a huge shot from Derek Rucker.
Oh. And the antics that go on after that shot says it all. It's tied up, 95 apiece. 3 minutes to play.
The Bullets have the task now of trying to get their offense in a flow against this Suns zone. We've got a foul called off the ball somewhere.
It'll be on the Suns. It's on Clarence Tyson.
Well, Steve Bignell's called a foul in under the basket there with the 2 players in a post-up situation. I really didn't get a look at it, but there didn't seem to be enough for mine. I would think at this time of the game, unless it's pretty serious, let them play.
Loggins. Well, anything can happen in 3 minutes of basketball.
Oh, that is a terrible turnover.
Rucker looking to make them pay. Tyson trailing for 2, and the Suns, believe it or not, are back in front for the first time in this basketball game. since the opening seconds.
Well, just about everything I'm looking at on this stat screen says they don't have a right to be, but it's all about heart and wanting to win. They didn't have it earlier. They've certainly got it now.
Loggins. Oh, curl. Well, no much doubt about that. He got a piece of Leroy Loggins before the ball, and the foul has been called on Simon Curl. He mightn't like our commentary, but there was no doubt about that one.
Well, that didn't look too bad. It was
well, on that angle it doesn't,
go.
but you could see just around the waist, he got a bit of a shove, then got the ball.
Either way, it doesn't matter now. We're on the line with Leroy Loggins, the guy who knows what to do with it when he gets to there. But it's now the Bullets looking to tie it up with these 2 free throws rather than hold a lead that they've had since probably right from the first basket of the game almost.
Dennis, are you ready?
There's no doubt that 29-point third quarter did it all. Listen to this crowd.
And I tell you something, Leroy Loggins would be enjoying this crowd too.
He would.
He would. This is what these guys love. I mean, I'm sure the teams coming to Townsville this year, even the ones that have gotten beaten, would appreciate the opportunity to play in front of such a basketball fanatical crowd.
Well, it's all tied up again. 97 apiece. Both teams shooting at 51, 52%. The reboundings, well, the Bullets 40 compared to the Suns 22. Curl. Can't bring it in. Loggins now. The evergreen Leroy Loggins coming to the fore, playing his 450th game in the National Basketball League. Tyson backs in on Mark Dalton, goes to work. Not a good shot. Dwayne McLean comes up with it, and the Bullets now. The pendulum starting to swing towards them. Every possession vital as we count down the last 2 minutes. The Bullets in front by 2. Shot clock at 10. Loggins off the screen. Well, experience personified. Leroy Loggins, 22 points for the game.
And picking up the last 6 points for the Bullets.
Well, Rucker looking to pass it to Tyson. Nothing going right just in this last 30 seconds to a minute for the Suns. Loggins. Well, Dwayne McLean couldn't drag that in. He's taken on Grant Krueger again.
Well, Dwayne McLean has put Krueger on the line once already tonight.
Well, we've got a timeout called by the Suns Brains Trust. They're trailing by 4 with 1:07 left to play. David Blades will go into the Suns timeout and see what words of wisdom the 2 coaches can say to their players to try and get them back in front.
One of the things I think they've got to identify is how they want to play this set down the floor. It's with 1:07 to go. You want to give yourself a chance to get the ball back again. You don't want to go 30 seconds and allow the Bullets to run it down so that you're left with only 2 or 3 seconds to score. So I would think that right now they're going to want to come down and probably get the ball in Rucker's hands, maybe isolate or set a pick and roll for him and try and score quickly. Try and get their basket within the first 10 to 15 seconds of their possession. Maybe 20 seconds with 1:07 left on the clock. That way, you get another chance to score with maybe 10 or 15 seconds left in the game.
A quick play starting from this corner. A quick play from Townsville.
We'll go down to David Blades very shortly just to see what was said.
Let's wake up the guys. Look up now. Come on.
Don't remember only a minute to play in this basketball game. David Blades, if you can hear us in this crowd, what was said by the 2 coaches?
Mate, I was just in with the Suns there. They've got possession here. Hopefully they'll come down. They're looking to make a bucket here, and then they're going to go back into a zone defence. If they can play hard in the zone defence, maybe they'll force the Bullets into some trouble and get another shot at it.
Well, Simon Curl got the much-needed 2 to make it a 2-point ball game. Now they need the ball back, the Suns. From the Bullets' point of view, they want to slow it down and get an easy 2 to maybe put it out of the grasp of the Suns. Shot clock is at 15 seconds. The Suns don't want to foul. The Bullets in the hands of Steve Woodbury. Smith thought about it. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Leroy Loggins!
Oh, big shot, Leroy Loggins. You are God. That is a tremendous shot.
They just took their time, the Bullets. It was down to 4 seconds, and Leroy Loggins has delivered to maybe send his team away from the furnace winners. 104.99.
Again, the Suns need quick offense. They've got to score off this early.
Curl with a monster. It's short. Tyson does well to get it back in. But they're running out of time. Cameron for three. It's no good. And Dwayne McLean drags it in. Cameron fouls, not surprisingly, to try and send Loggins to the line. But I think time is up. 9.6 seconds. And the Bullets have kept their unbeaten record intact here at the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre. The Suns bench dejected. So close, yet so far.
Well, that's what it's all about, and they've certainly won some games this season that they've done a tremendous job as it's closing down. And it's there's still a long way to go in this season, and tonight, I guess, is a lesson to be learnt that you really need to be coming out. You need to be ready to play right from the first bounce of the ball, because teams like the Bullets don't give you too many opportunities.
Well, Mark Bragg did say they had to play 48 minutes against this team. And really, you'd have to say they only played half a game of basketball at the intensity level that they're used to. Curl gets a foul on Loggins with 6 seconds left on the clock. 104.99. If he puts both these down, well, it'll take a miracle, but it is possible, I suppose. And Dave Ingham has called a timeout.
This is the time of the night when the coaches earn their money. It's not long to go, but as you said, there is still enough time. If these two shots are made, you come back to, my maths is correct, a 3-point ball game. Now the Suns no doubt will go straight into a full-court trap. They'll try to cover every passing lane on the inbounds pass and try and steal the thing and come up with it straight away and go for the prayer, because that's basically all they've got left in that amount of time.
Well, that's the Suns diagram there. That's their play that they're looking at running. It means nothing to me.
Well, they're mapping out.
Keyway.
Well done, Ken. That's the area with the big McDonald's sign on it. I think what they're laying out where they want the players to be in relation to when the ball comes in. I think I saw Derek Rucker's initial D at the top of the lane near the foul line. They'll probably have one of their players with long arms span or big reach up on the player at the baseline, bringing it inbounds. So what that does is then cuts down his angles on the inbounds pass and perhaps makes him force the pass or make a pass into a corner where you can quickly race to it and try and double team.
Firstly, Curl has to get both these.
These have got to be done.
This to make it a 3-point ball game, which he does. Now the Suns looking for a steal. They need something quick. The Bullets very cool under pressure. That's class. That's why they're third in the league. And they have got away with the win. They led by as much as 20 at one stage. The Suns had a big third quarter and continued on with it in the fourth to bring it back and only lose by 3. 104 to 101. Top scorers just very quickly as David Blades looks to get Steve Woodbury. 37 for Derek Rucker, 34 for Steve Woodbury, 16 Mark Dalton, 25 Leroy Loggins, and 22 Simon Curl. David Blades is courtside with Steve Woodbury. Not just yet. The Bullets just want to do their little huddle. They'd have to be happy with themselves getting away with this just to consolidate themselves in third spot on the Mitsubishi Challenge. Bladesy with Woodbury now.
I've got Steve Woodby with me. Steve, great game for himself. Congratulations. Suns were a little bit lacking in intensity to start the game and allowed yourselves to get off to a bit of a lead there on them.
Definitely. We knew we had to come in and get off to a lead, get samples. They played, make a run, and they did, and we weathered the storm.
That's good. A couple of incidents there that sort of fired the Suns up. They started to make a bit of a run at you. But, you know, with the veteran players that you've got, including Leroy Loggins, you guys were able to sustain that and sort of and hold on there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It helps to have Leroy and Mark and those experienced guys out there because, you know, sometimes we got erratic out there and it didn't look good, but we kept our composure at the end and pulled this one out.
Great. Congratulations and go and enjoy the win.
All right, thank you.
And we'll be back right after this break with Trevor and Ken to wrap up.
Well, in the end, 104 to 101, the Bullets get away and continue their unbeaten record here. 5 wins on the trot here at the Townsville Breakwater Entertainment Centre in the regular season of the Mitsubishi Challenge. With us, Leroy Loggins, game 450 in the Mitsubishi Challenge. He said to me earlier today that he didn't even know it was his 450th, but well played tonight.
Thank you very much. You know, as everybody out there knows, coming to Townsville and getting a win used to be, you know, you can mark on your calendar, hey, we'll get some wins, but it's a credit to the organization up here. They got a great program. They got some great players, and it's tough as you know what to get a win in this place.
Well, that aside, though, you guys played very, very disciplined basketball, which you have been playing all season. So you must be happy to have that bit of pressure in the end there to just know that you can come through with that.
Well, I tell you right now, we put in a lot of hard work. You know, it's been a long struggle to get where we are, and we still have to continue to struggle if, you know, we're going to consolidate that second spot. So it doesn't get any easier. I think it gets tougher because once you get in first or second spot, everybody's chasing you.
Well, 450 games, 11,000 points in the Mitsubishi Challenge. What's been the highlight? Can you pinpoint one in what's been a remarkable career to date?
Well, I think always winning the championship is remarkable. You know, those are some of the things that, you know, I'll cherish for the rest of my life. But it's always a challenge, you know, and I enjoy the challenge of coming out trying to be the best that I can be and our team to be the best team we can be. So it's you look for different challenges every day, and that's what life is all about.
Well, you, as you said, you've played in championship teams. How do you compare this team? I know it's a very tough league this year, and it really does come down to one win, one loss here or there. Can you go all the way? I mean, have you got the armory to go all the way, do you feel?
I think so. You know, with the addition of Dwayne McClain and, you know, we got young Ben Thompson playing a bit, you know, getting a bit more minutes with a few injuries to a couple of our players, Aaron Honeyman and Mike Mackay. So, you know, John Zaghetti, he had some foot problem earlier this year. He's finally gotten himself together. If we can keep Robert and Mark Dalton healthy in the paint, you know, Roger, I thought he did a great defensive job on Dirk Rucker, but, you know, Dirk's a great player, and you can't take nothing away from that. But in all, I think we do have a team that can go because I don't think a lot of people were prepared for us, you know. We've had a few changes this year, and maybe a lot of people thought we were going to put our heads up our bums and quit, but it's just made us more determined.
Well said, Leroy. It's been a tremendous game and a great career. All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Leroy Loggins, 25 points tonight, and really, I mean, you talk about legends in the league and things like that. That is one of them without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely. And that last quarter, it really came down to the legends, as we call them, going shot for shot. You know, Derek Rucker coming down, pulling up, hitting the big jump shot, going to the basket. Leroy comes down and sticks together 6 points in a row. I mean, what more could you ask for? A great game, a very good job done by the Bullets. I don't know how the Suns got in there. It was just simply heart and determination in the second half, and in particular, Derek Rucker.
Well, that will show in the statistics, and we said it throughout the call. The Suns, when you look at the statistics, shouldn't have been in the basketball game. They should have got done by 20 points, which was happening up until halftime. But credit them, they did come back. It was tough, 104-101. Let's have a quick look at the match stats now. The field shooting percentage from both teams they would be happy with. But look at that rebounding count, 42 to 24. When you get hammered on the boards like that, you say it's good night, and we've got to come back about the stats. As you said, the shooting percentage is virtually identical. A little bit better on the free throw line for the Suns, but those rebounds, they gave up so many offensive boards. It was in excess of 20, and that's an awful lot of possession right under your net. Okay, well, let's have a look at the top scorers, and it really has been a great game for Derek Rucker, Steve Woodbury, two of the classy point guards in the Mitsubishi Challenge. Rucker coming out on top in the points, but I think he'd swap that for the win. I'm quite sure he would. Steve Woodbury with 34, Simon Curl 22, and as we said, Leroy Loggins 25. But who was your standout there?
Oh, it's hard to pick one. I think probably Woodbury and Rucker for me tonight, the two. You couldn't pick one over the other. They're both identical in shooting percentages, and the way they led their team and made the clutch baskets, and of course Leroy at the death with a couple of big ones.
Okay, well, that win for the Bullets is a crucial one for them. They've now tied up the ledger. The Suns beating the Bullets in Brisbane. Now the Bullets coming here and beating the Suns here at the Furnace. They've got one more game, and it could come down to that to decide who gets in the playoffs. The Suns go up against Adelaide next week. They have to win that on the road to stay in touch with the top six, and then they're back here to play Illawarra here at the Furnace. On behalf of Trevor Roberts, the entire crew, it's been a pleasure. Good night, Australia.